Actor politician Vijay has now unveiled his first major set of welfare promises at the Tamilaga Vettri Kazhagam's Women's Day event.
பெண்கள் குழந்தைகள் மற்றும் முதியோருக்கென தனி இலாக்கா உருவாக்கப்படும். அந்த இலாக்கா எனது நேரடி கட்டுப்பாட்டிலும் கண்காணிப்பிலும் இருக்கும். சமரசமற்ற பெண்கள் பாதுகாப்பை நோக்கி பயணிக்கும் நம் கனவு நனவாவது உறுதி என்பதை நமது தேர்தல் முதல் வாக்குறுதியாக சொல்வதில் பெருமை கொள்கிறோம்.
Politically, this is significant for one clear reason. It shows Vijay's party stepping into Tamil Nadu politics on the same terrain that has defined the state for decades, welfare politics. From a monthly cash transfer for women to free LPG cylinders and marriage assistance, the message is quite clear. TVK is entering the competitive welfare space that has long been dominated by the Dravidian parties. And that is not surprising. For decades now, elections in Tamil Nadu have been shaped by targeted welfare schemes, especially those aimed at women who today form one of the most decisive voter blocs in Tamil Nadu. But if you look closely at these announcements, they also raise some important political and economic questions. Hello, I'm D. Suresh Kumar and you're watching Tamil Nadu elections with the Hindu. So what exactly do these announcements tell us about Vijay's political strategy and how realistic are these promises? To discuss this, I'm joined by my young colleague N. Sai Charan. Sai, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, viewers, let me tell you, Sai Charan is in our political bureau, but he is in a very politically unenviable position, I must say, right? Because he has a very tricky task. He covers the Tamilaga Vettri Kazhagam, a party that was launched on social media, or the announcement of which was made on social media. It has a leader, founder leader, who has not met the press till date. Nowhere else has this happened in the country or anywhere else.
Yes.
But yet, Sai has been tracking Tamilaga Vettri Kazhagam and Vijay from a distance.
Yes, sir.
Right, and somewhat closely also doing various events where he has been tracking their policies, what they stand for, and all those things. So, Sai, in this conversation, basically, I'm going to look at the promises that Vijay made at the Women's Day event. So, one message that we get across is very clear, that he says that I'm not going to dismantle what the DMK has done in terms of welfare, but I'm going to outbid this. If you look at the first major promise, this is about giving 2,500 rupees a month for women aged below 60 years.
He termed it as Madhipumigu Magalir Thittam, basically honorable women's scheme. Under this scheme, 2,500 rupees will be granted to all women up to 60 years of age, and barring only the union and state government employees. And this is a huge announcement, and it is not new, as you said already. The DMK government is giving rupees 1,000 under Kalaignar Magalir Urimai Thogai, and they have now promised to enhance, if it is voted to power again, to 2,000. And the opposition as well, ADMK General Secretary Edappadi K. Palaniswamy, under this Kulavilakku Thittam, he also promised rupees 2,000. So it's just a number game.
It is a number game, no doubt about it, because in fact, if you notice, the first person to make such a pitch was Kamal Hassan in his original election manifesto. So he wanted women, especially their household work, to be recognized and rewarded. So he made it, and then subsequently, the last assembly election, Stalin picked it up. He, of course, promised for all women across Tamil Nadu, all women ration card holders or heads of families. But eventually, when the scheme was rolled out 2 years later, it was for about 1.13 crore, and then subsequently 1.31 crore women across, and that involves a huge, drain from the exchequer. Now Vijay is actually promising 2,500. So what is going to be the burden of the exchequer?
And then already the Tamil Nadu exchequer is severely strained, and then the state government has been complaining that we are not getting enough funds, that the incentive was to us also. So this 2,500 to all women, because he has not specified whether it will be only to heads of families or any particular sections of women. So this will create a huge stress on the exchequer.
Basically, like now he needs to find the ways and means, if at all he is elected to power, the ways and means to fund this scheme, because this is a huge population. And also the fact is that, from among the supporters, if you notice, we find two segments who are fanatically supporting him. One is the youth, which is in the age group of 18 to 35. The other is women. Right? Most of his rallies, you see women, and when you also meet people, in your own neighborhoods, you find that women, even in the age group of 40, are willing to extend support to him. So basically, I think he is trying to capitalize on the segment, consolidate them, and see them as a very key electoral constituency. And interestingly, if you notice the Tamil Nadu electoral data, the women voters outnumber
Yes.
men. So they form a very core constituency, and he is out to tap this
And
particular
then in some
constituency.
of the meetings which I happen to cover, his meetings, his speeches are getting good resonance among youngsters and women. So they are responding to what he speaks, and then he is clearly targeting them. He wants to speak to them. He's clearly speaking to them. It's very clear now.
Yes.
With the recent set of announcements, it's very clear.
The other scheme that he has mentioned is this free bus travel for women
Yeah.
across all buses, unlike the pink buses that you have now in certain cities of Tamil Nadu. So as it is, my big concern is that transport corporations are running at a loss. They don't have money to pay the retired employees, even their own accumulated benefits they are not able to pay. So he is offering across Tamil Nadu. This means every bus.
Yeah, now it is only you can travel locally under this pink bus scheme which the state government has now implementing. And yesterday he criticized that as well. Why you should give only for a short distance travel? Now, if you take a bus from Chennai and then get down at Kanyakumari, for women it is free, completely free. That's what he is pitching. Basically, again, as you said, it will create a huge financial stress on the transport corporations, which is already reeling.
Also, I think this is going to upset the omnibus lobby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because they are one of the most powerful lobbies in the state,
Yes, of course.
right? So it's going to already, even now I find that many of the share auto rickshaw unions, they are opposed to this free bus scheme because women actually wait for the pink bus rather than taking share auto. And the other big scheme that he has announced for women is this one sovereign gold.
Yeah.
Under the present circumstances where, gold prices are just skyrocketing, many organizations and many places where they had similar schemes earlier, they're not able to roll it out. But he's offering one sovereign gold for women who will get married.
Yeah.
This scheme again is an improvisation of the Thalika Tangam scheme that Tamil Nadu had rolled out during Jayalalitha's period and even before that during Karunanidhi's regime.
1989 it was rolled
but
out.
now of course they have slightly improvised the scheme in Tamil Nadu after the Stalin administration took over. They've called it the Pudumai Pen scheme, where they incentivize girls going for higher education so that they get a monthly component of 1,000 rupees for their entire course duration. But Vijay is now going back and harping on the gold, because gold also, if you notice, women have a lot of attachment to gold. They have it as a safety net and also as a valued possession in the house when they can raise loan out of it during any compelling circumstances. But do you think this scheme, I mean, what is your view on the scheme?
So even in the last schemes, like the schemes which are named after Muthulakshmi Reddy or Moolur Ramamridam or Dharmambalamar, which cater to different sections of women, basically widowers and all. So there was a gold component as well as cash component, and it incentivized education. Basically, if you are a graduate, you will get so and so amount, so much amount, and then so much gold. So here he has not announced any such backed up with education or anything, nothing. Just he announced to all. Just or to all brides, you'll get 8 grams of gold and silk sari. I think it is too ambitious, yeah, I would say.
And I also have a feeling that this might actually incentivize early marriages. So that is another key concern.
Yeah.
Right? We should be educating women, and this might have an impact. So we need to wait and see, of course.
And then if he is giving it for socially or educationally disadvantaged sections, then it's fine. Now,
it makes sense,
all brides means I'm not sure that it should be targeted.
Yes, it should be targeted. That's right. And of course, he has also spoken about giving 6 gas cylinders, which is like your annual gas cylinders. He's going to pay the cost.
Yeah, even recently the gas cylinder price is 14.5 kg. If you take, it is around 950 or 1,000 rupees, close to. If you annually, every family will be spending
862 or something. That was my last bill.
Yeah, I think recently because of the tension in West Asia, so it is increased. Annually, every family is spending close to 5,000 or 6,000 rupees in this LPG.
Per annum.
Per annum. Now, AIDMK General Secretary also has promised the same similarly. And let's see, because this is also, again, I would say, rate it as very ambitious, because how long, already we are not a country where we produce natural gas. We are import dependent. So how we are going to go about it?
I'm only reminded of the Congress's promise 10 years ago, where they offered 3 cylinders or something, and Rahul Gandhi made that promise. And also the other point that I want to make here is the DMK government, the MK Stalin government promised a subsidy of 100 rupees
Yes.
for every cylinder, and they have not been
They
able
have
to
not been
fulfill.
able
They have
to.
not implemented that. So here somebody is offering to entirely subsidize the gas
Yes.
cylinders, for households. So we need to wait and see how
Yes.
that goes.
Yeah.
Of course, he has made other promises like giving free sanitary
Yeah.
pads for women, but I don't know if he's aware that these are existing schemes.
These are existing. Yesterday, he pointed out that it is an existing scheme and there are some operational discrepancies in there, and he will ensure that it will be in public distribution system outlets and schools and colleges. Sanitary pads will be given at free of cost. He didn't pinpoint what are all the problems in the existing scheme. And one other announcement, very important announcement he made was a scheme in the name of Kamaraj where a mother or a guardian will get 15,000 per annum for school-going children. In such a scenario, that's a huge amount, I would say.
Exactly, 15,000 per annum is a huge outgo
Yeah.
from the government exchequer. And also, if you look at Tamil Nadu, basically there's no problem in terms of enrollment. Right, what we need actually is the improving the standards of education and the standard of teaching in government schools. Infrastructure is a major issue in many of the government
Yes.
schools, and also this, thought process of parents from moving away from publicly funded education to privately funded education. Those are the core issues that need to be addressed. And instead, when 15,000 is given, it might actually incentivize.
And then he didn't specify whether it is government or government
Yes,
aided or private schools.
yes,
Taking from class 1 to class 12, all students, mothers will be getting rupees 15,000 per annum is such a huge amount as
exactly. So we need
too
to see
ambitious.
what broader contours emerge. Of course, as and when he's in a position to implement them, of course. But the sanitary pads, I find that really needs to be strengthened. I think many of our girl children or women, for that matter, are not in a position to purchase quality sanitary pads. So I think the more wider it's reach, it's a good thing. The other thing I found, Sai, is that his naming of the schemes. If
Yes.
you notice, like Amma Udavagam, Chayalthas, that had some sort of a touch
Yeah.
among the common man. It gives some sort of a bonding. So in this case, if you notice one particular scheme, he named it as Annan Seer. Annan Seer is
Unanswered.
a brother, elderly brother, right, giving
A marriage gift,
a
basically,
marriage
wedding
gift
gift. Yeah.
to his sister.
Yeah.
So he has very cleverly used that, and if you notice his followers, they call him Anna.
Anna, yeah.
Most of them.
Basically, he just want to strike a chord with the women voters.
So that I think it really strikes an emotional chord, and they might feel that this, even when it's implemented, it gives you a sort of an attachment as if it's an elder brother. So I think that coinage is something that needs to be really appreciated.
Yeah.
But where is the revenue going to come? Because you also mentioned about the debt burden.
Yeah.
I have seen like in the last about 10 years, the debt burden has increased from some 3 lakh crore to more than 9 lakh crore.
Yes.
Although, of course, the Dravidian model DMK government's argument has been that it's well within the borrowing ratio with your as compared to your GSTP. But should you actually borrow till the
Now it is
upper
around
limit?
10.6 crores in this.
So
10.6 lakh crores.
6 lakh crores. So should you actually hit that bottom? Because I think somewhere we also need to encourage a savings economy. From that, the government is not drifting. And then if they do that, but this is a cost of the current level of welfare measures that Tamil Nadu is spending. And if all these schemes that Vijay has actually mentioned, if they have to be implemented, then I think the borrowing will increase. But of course, he is speaking about reducing something which you very vaguely mentioned as talent tax of 30%.
Yeah. So I don't think so. His announcements were not meant to implement any fiscal prudence. Again, he's banking on these populist announcements. Of course, we shall not dismiss whatever he said. Some of the important good announcements are also there. For example, incentivizing women self-help groups and by giving them rupees 5 lakh as subsidy. There are schemes. There are similar schemes that are being implemented both by the center as well as the state. But it is also a very welcome step that if a women self-help group transforms into an MSME, and then in Tamil Nadu is one of the top states having women workforce in the country.
Yes.
So
that's it. And also in self-help groups, I think we have had very good initiatives here. In fact, Stalin, as Minister for Rural Development, was the one who tried to strengthen the self-help groups. But this scheme where he is promising to offer 5 lakh as a business business
100% subsidy.
100% subsidy. I think that needs to be encouraged. It will be a model that any government should try to implement it, so that we empower women and we also create jobs Because one of the biggest factors about lack of employability and lack of jobs also. So if women can actually create this, that is going to make a huge difference, right? The other point that I have noticed is that in Tamil Nadu, if you notice of late the discourse, when you ask about what is wrong with the Stalin government, invariably one thing that you get to hear is women's
Women's
safety.
safety, yeah.
I'm not going into the rights and wrongs of it, this sort of an opinion or perception, but then you cannot deny that there is a widespread perception that women's safety is at stake. And Vijay has sought to target and capitalize on that and then address this issue by saying that he wants something on Velu Nachar's.
Yeah, well, not force he'll create, where in which
create-
500 security groups, totally plain clothes women force, and they'll be posted in public places where women gather in large numbers, and then they will be used for surveillance and to ensure their security, which is not entirely new. We have similar arrangements as well, but it is a step forward, I would say.
He has spoken about panic buttons on buses,
smart buttons.
but I remember that this was announced even when Jayalalitha was Chief Minister after the Nirbhaya case in Delhi. And subsequently, actually, the Tamil Nadu government under M.K. Stalin had implemented this panic button system on public buses. Of course, there is no record with us to say how many times this was used or where there was a necessity to use them. But I think any measure to improve safety of women is, always welcome, because Tamil Nadu has been coming up with different measures. For instance, when Jayalalitha was Chief Minister for the first time, she brought in all women police stations. And then you also had this flower brigade, or women who tried to be on rounds to stop eve teasing.
Yeah.
You had the pink patrol, then you had this, now you have this Amma patrol.
Amma patrol,
Again during Jayalalitha period and continued by this government. All those things are there. But one critical question is the implementation part of it.
Yes.
Because I found that even the all women police stations, they had turned into areas where they were kangaroo panchayats.
Yeah.
Right, kangaroo courts were held and negotiation, and women forced to settle for something else other than justice as prescribed by law. So much of this will depend on the enforcement part of it.
Yeah.
You can have umpteen number of systems. Even now you have this Kavalan SOS app, but is a woman in distress really able to use it? So how are you going to facilitate that?
Yeah.
All these questions will matter. At the same time, if you notice, the Vijay's announcements have created a buzz.
Yes,
There's
exactly.
no doubt about it.
Yeah.
That is because of the constituency that he is seeking to address, the women constituency, and because of his capacity to captivate the women audience.
Yes.
So we need to wait and see how it goes. But it clearly establishes one thing, that in Tamil Nadu, if you have to succeed in politics, then you cannot dismantle what is existing.
Yeah.
You only need to improvise on that. So that is established by that. And of course, I always say this, that Vijay is not offering us anything new. What Vijay is offering us, the Dravidian parties, their ideology, be it, you look at his ideology also, or any other, what he stands
for.
The
icons and all.
Yeah, he is, he opposes NEET.
Yeah.
He opposes the office of governor, right? He is all for state autonomy. So everything that has been well-oiled and well-established with the Dravidian parties, he wants to improvise on that. So which is a welcome step. But at the same time, the other thing that I find is that he is also taking the Dravidian party culture to TV. Right? If you notice his, political meetings are similar to the Dravidian. I mean, in the sense, of course, he doesn't hold the traditional, dais-based meetings like you have what you see in the Dravidian parties. But then the flex banner culture, the hero worship culture, the one man holding a central position culture, these things have not changed.
Yeah.
Right?
In TVK, there is no two. There is no second. Only
no
Vijay.
Yes.
There is no number two. Only Mr. Vijay.
Only Vijay.
And then the politics is completely revolves around Mr. Vijay.
Right. Yeah. And the only difference from the Dravidian party and Vijay is he has not met the press.
Yeah.
Right. He has not had a single press conference.
But ideally, as a journalist, I would suggest that he will one day at least come out and talk to press freely.
He should, because I don't think he's shy of the media, because I have watched him holding press conferences as an actor. He's very comfortable. He has given bites to journalists, even casually on occasions. Yeah. So I don't know what is holding him, because even Narendra Modi, right, now he may not meet the press, hold a formal press conference. He has not held it since 2014. But there was a time when he would meet journalists. I have had the opportunity of meeting him when he was in Chennai once, of course, part of a press gathering. Right, we had asked him, but of course at that time he was the General Secretary of the BJP, and we have posed tough questions to Chief Ministers like Jayalalitha, M. Karunanidhi, even Mr. Stalin, right? Of course, Mr. Stalin also has not had a formal press conference. That is a complaint that I have against
Yeah.
him now. But as mayor and as deputy CM, he has had press conferences earlier. So the idea is that when you actually, even Edapadi Palaniswamy, earlier he would be very shy of meeting the press,
Yeah,
but
now he's
look
very
how he
well
has,
articulated. Yeah.
he has matured,
Yeah.
right? He is able to speak without speech notes. I think that is very crucial because people also judge your capacity to respond to the most unexpected questions, and that will get Vijay a base beyond his comfort base of youth and women. It's entirely up to him to decide. But I think that brings us to close of our conversation. We will meet you in another episode of our, the elections, Tamil Nadu elections with the Hindu. Until then, this is G. Suresh Kumar and Sai Charan signing off. Thank you.
Thank you.